So this week's Parashah portion is titled Ha'azinim, which means listen or to hear. And it comes from Deuteronomy chapter 32, the whole chapter 32, verse 1 through 52. So it's exciting. We are a couple weeks away from completing the year through the Torah and starting back again in Genesis. I believe it'll be at the end of October. We'll start back in Genesis. But this Parashah is a song that Moses is reciting to the whole assembly of Israel. And I'm not going to go through each and every single detail, but I'll paraphrase what his song was about. And it starts by proclaiming the name of the Lord, of his greatness, that his works are perfect and he does no wrong. Upright and just is he, amen. But Israel has acted corruptly toward him. They are a wicked and crooked generation. So Moses asked the question, is this how you repay your father, your creator who made and formed you? So we are told to remember the days of old, how in the desert he found us. He shielded us, he cared for us, and he guarded us as the apple of his eye. So when we got too comfortable, we abandoned the God who made us. We made him jealous by turning to foreign gods. We angered him with our detestable idols, and we forgot the God who gave us life. So it goes on to say, the Lord will judge his people, but will have compassion on his servants as well. So when he sees our strength gone, he will ask, where's our gods? The ones who we wrongly worshipped, the ones who we wrongly sacrificed to. But see now it was him, and only him. Besides God, there is no other. God has wounded, and God will heal, and no one can deliver out of his hand. And Moses goes on to close out the song in verse 46. And this is one of the final statements given to Israel from Moses, because after this we see the Lord has made it known to him that he will go up to Mount Nebo and he will to die. So in verse 46, it says, take to heart all the words I have solemnly declared to you this day, so that you may command your children to obey carefully all the words of this law. They are not just idle words for you, they are your life. By them you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. So after going through the whole Torah, remembering it's coming to an end here shortly, receiving the knowledge and understanding and wisdom, now Moses is saying to you, now you are to become the teacher. So we are told to command our children to obey carefully all the words of the law, not just by simply telling them, but by how we live it. So we go through trials in our life. We are tested in this life. We're refined. We gain knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Yes, first for our own growth and for our own walk with the Lord. But it doesn't stop there. It's never just for us. It's also also to help others grow. And again, we don't want to let these just be idle words. We don't want to just gain knowledge just to have knowledge. It's useless at that point. We need to apply it. I'll try to paint the picture. Say you want to be a bodybuilder and you have an image of what you want to look like. You want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's in your best interest to train with people, to learn from people who have not only know the ins and outs of how to build muscle, but who have achieved that goal themselves. You want to learn from people who are being an example, who have lived it. So who is living it? So in that same example, we need to be spiritually fit. So I'm crazy enough. I would love people to come up to me, ask me, Josh, why are you so happy? Why are you so filled with joy? So I can ask them the question, well, have you ever met this man named Yeshua from Nazareth? But the gospel of Yeshua is a gospel of action. It requires us to lead by an example in order to help lead others in the right direction. Yeshua taught us to go, teach, baptize, and disciple. And here at this congregation, God has blessed us. God has allowed us to offer such easy ways to obey his commands, to go, teach, baptize, and disciple. Every other week, we have outreaches, one towards the homeless ministry and one towards the nursing home. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stop being believers in name only, but start putting our faith into action. In the homeless ministry, if you're not a social person, if you're not a talkative person, you don't have to be. You just have to go. Just obey him. Just smile. Just hand them a bag of food. And while someone else is preaching the gospel, just stand behind them quietly, praying. Ruach HaKodesh, open their hearts. Let Let whoever is speaking, let the words come and let it flow through them, help them to be able to understand. In the nursing home, the same way, if you're not a social or talkative person, there's no worry at all. Just listen. Ha'azinu, just listen to them. They have a lot to say. And many of them don't have any families or any visitors that come see them, so they're very lonely. And I hate to make such a crude point, and be harsh, but the harsh reality is a lot of them are just sitting around waiting to die. So come, be a light in their lives. Love on them. Let them know that the Father loves them. So going back to our trials and tests are not just for us. What if you were the one who could relate or connect on a personal level with someone? Get them to open up. You might have an experience that no one else has, but God put that in your life in order to help that person at that time. It doesn't matter if there were 10 Billy Grahams in the room preaching to that person on the gospel. They might never have opened up unless it was you and your example, what you have lived through or experienced that could open up to them. Like, you might say to me, Josh, it sounds easy on paper, but I have a hard time speaking. I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here before you the same. I'm nervous. I have a hard time speaking. I don't know what to say. But there's a verse that helped me get out of my comfort zone real quick in Revelation 21, verse 8. I'll read it here real quick. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, and those who practice magic arts, the idolaters and all liars, their place will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what God has told us, who all is not going to enter into heaven, who all is going to have their part in hell. And the first on that list is not the sexually immoral, it's not the murderers, it's not the idolaters, it's the cowards. It's the lukewarm Christians who have the knowledge, have the understanding and wisdom, but they choose to do nothing about it. They don't live it out in their lives. So to paraphrase what Moses said, it's our turn to teach.